Hi, I'm Beth Strathman, leadership and team coach, and I'm here today with Dr. Liz Stinselli, leadership consultant. And today we are going to tackle the topic of how to appreciate employees without giving them money. So Liz, we've both worked in many different workplaces, and we've both supervised other people. We've also worked with clients on this particular issues. So why don't you start us off? What are some of the things we ought to be considering when we want to show appreciation for employees, but maybe budgets are tight?
So, first and foremost, it needs to be personal and it needs to be specific. So many times we have managers and leaders who think they come by and say, "Hey, thank you for all your hard work. Do you actually know what work I do? What, do you know my name? Do you know?" That is being so general. It, I'm not going to take that as true appreciation. Now you're going through the motion of saying, "Hey, thanks for all you do. What is it that I do specifically? Let's hear it." So we want it to be very personal and very specific. Thank you for all the hard work you did on that presentation on Thursday. It came out fantastic. The client was super impressed. Thank you for staying late to help on this proposals. Thank you for be specific, because then they believe you.
Right. And I think you're also making the point, not only is it specific to that person, but it's job related, right? And it can be job related to a task that they did, or it could be a job related to a behavior that they did in terms of putting in extra time on a project, staying late, for example, as you mentioned. And it can be job related in terms of even how they get along with their coworkers. Like, I want to really thank you for the way you handled that situation during our team meeting today. You were able to give Joe the information that he needed, but make him feel like he wasn't behind the eight ball on the project, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's specific and job related for sure.
Yes, and so we've touched on the easiest point here. Without, it doesn't cost you a thing to stop by, take a minute, and actually tell someone, "Thank you. I appreciate this specific thing that you have done." Showing appreciation to you. Also, thank you notes. How easy is that? You have a stack in your drawer, but again, they need to be personal and specific, not a "Hey, thank you." You know, Personal and specific, just a little note. Um, when people get these notes, it means more to them than you can even imagine. Like, oh my gosh, they actually recognize something that I did, and that's fantastic. Another thing, and this, some industries and some companies can do this easier than others, and I think a lot of people have realized during the pandemic um, how flexible we can be if we need to be. And so here we had a lot of people out of the office, and now we've got half of the people back in the office and half are still home. The people who are in the office are happy to be back in the office, but they miss the flexibility that they had when working from home. They didn't have the commute times, you know, they didn't have to get themselves all pretty. So during their lunch, they could actually really work out, or they could run up and put laundry in the washing machine. That's not feasible while you're at work. But could we be off a little bit more flexibility with schedules? Could we look at maybe having working 9 hours a day and then having half a day off on Fridays? Um, Employees really appreciate this, but then you have to tell them why you're doing it. We appreciate all of these things that you guys do and all of your dedication, so that it doesn't become just an expectation. People, this is the problem. We start doing something and then people forget that kind of it's a benefit. It's in appreciation, and then they come to just expect it. So we want to make sure that when we're doing things, whatever we put in place, that they're kind of reminded this is what we're doing. It you know, you can have small social events where you know,
Right.
when whether even if virtually, you know, people do where they're everyone's getting on and playing Pictionary virtually, or you know, doing a pub trivia virtually, something that's just saying we value you, and we want to give you some time to actually enjoy each other's company, you know, have a little bit of a break. But someone in a leadership position needs to speak up in the beginning and express appreciation so employees know this is why we are doing this. What are your thoughts on that, Beth?
Well, as you're talking, I'm thinking it's showing employees that you appreciate the work that they're doing, not only the day-to-day work, but particularly when they go above and beyond, for sure. Um, it's really about recognizing that you're dealing with human beings, right? This is about really cultivating the relationship with individual employees and your entire team as well. Um, and really just being a human being about things instead of uh, being, just sort of cracking the whip to get the work done. So it's just taking a few minutes out of your day, or at the end of a work week, sitting down for a half an hour and writing those thank you notes as you mentioned, or making a phone call, or whatever it is, sending an email, I guess, could even work. Just let people know that you saw them this week, you saw what they did, you're tending to what they're doing, and you're noticing that kind of a thing. People just don't want to be invisible. They want to know that the effort that they put forth was worth it, that somebody is paying attention and know. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we also want to encourage employees to recognize each other too. We want to kind of build a culture where, you know, when someone does something great and you see it, that you make sure to kind of, you know, acknowledge them for that. So we want to enable employees to show appreciation. And then, you know, one of the big things is make sure you get to know your employees personally. You know, you want to know, are they married? Do they have children? You know, so that it gives you kind of a broader base for starting a conversation that feels personal and feels, you know, authentic to them.
Right, right. Yeah, so when you get we're doing employee appreciation without spending money, but occasionally a vendor or something might give you as your if you're a supervisor, give you tickets to a baseball game or something like that. And if you know that one of your employees is really into baseball, then that's an opportunity, because you got to know them, that you can pass on those tickets to them, particularly if you don't, want to use them yourself. So yeah, getting to know them will pay off in that way. Yeah.
Well, so there are a lot of ways that you can show appreciation without money. They're not hard. It just, you have to develop the habit. And you have to take the few minutes that it takes to do it. So we have shared a few ideas. We'd love to hear your ideas and your take on this. If you have anything to share, please, comment below, and, we'd love to hear from you.